Hey guys, welcome back to the OffBeat Sports Podcast, presented by another Celsius ambassador, Jan Maciejewski, who plays Division I football for Lehigh University. Welcome to the show, man.
Thanks, man.
Uh,
Appreciate you having me on.
yeah, so we're gonna just talk a little bit about your football career, and then maybe we can talk a little NFL football. So it'll be a good episode. All right. So first question, just what led into your decision to pick Lehigh University when you're going through the recruiting process? Like, were there any other major schools interested?
Yeah, so throughout my football career, I never really anticipated, playing college football. It was really just kind of all came at once. I Lehigh was the first like school to offer me at all and really show like great interest in me. I was kind of blown away when I picked up the call and heard that they offered me. And that same week, I got offers from Davidson, St. Francis, and Bryant University. Um, so I was just thrilled, that I was getting any interest at all. I was getting recruited mainly by like the Ivies, other Patriot League schools, some local FBS schools and stuff like that. But I just kind of picked Lehigh because it was close to home. It was a great alumni network. The people are awesome. Really, just like feels like a family here. Um, you know, After this fourth year of football, I definitely made the right decision coming here. Like, I wouldn't change a thing. I loved every bit of it.
Yeah, so you're coming to the end of your career. So, what is one of your favorite memories in football, whether it be before college, high school, or before high school? What would you say one of your favorite memories is?
I think that this last season was probably one for the books. Like, just the way we turned things around and really like turned it up towards the second half of the season. We started like 0-8, so obviously a lot of people lose faith at that point. Coming from the spring and the year before, like, we had some staff changes, we had some people step away from the team and stuff like that. Like, it was kind of just, when it rains it pours kind of thing. It just kept coming, harder and harder and everything. And we're like, look, like, we're here to play football. Like, you don't want to let your younger self down. Just kind of like come to play for each other. Make it like, you know, don't let yourself down from like all these years of hard work and just like putting yourself on the line over and over and over again. And like to give up now, like when you've made it this far, like that's kind of ridiculous. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, yeah.
we kind of collectively, like, there was, I think, 6 or 7 of us seniors left by the time the last couple of weeks came along. And we had around, like, I want to say like 26 in my class my freshman year. So like a lot of people stepped away. But it was like, we're here, like we made it this far, like why not just turn it up these last couple of weeks and like build a culture that um, these younger guys will be able to carry forward and just like, you know, make things happen.
Hmm.
Um, it was really just all for them because, like, we knew our careers were coming to an end. Like us as seniors across the board, like, we just wanted to set the standard high before we left and go out on a high note.
Hmm. So you are, as I mentioned before, Celsius ambassador. So are we. So that's pretty cool. We were able to connect through that app.
Yeah.
How'd you get involved with with Celsius? And I saw you were also a barstool athlete and everything.
Yep.
How is that like that is it the NIL thing opened up opportunities for you?
Yeah. I mean, I love the whole NIL space. It's like something I remember me and my buddies talking about back in high school. And like, what if this was actually a thing where like we could make money off our image and likeness? Like, I remember playing NCAA 14 and like back then it was like, all right, like, why isn't anyone getting money off this? There's so much money in college athletics that like us athletes don't really see. And like, people get into the nitty gritty of like, the ethics of all that stuff and everything. But at the end of the day, like, you're a professional, you're working 2 full-time jobs as a college athlete. Like,
Mhm.
you got
Yeah,
to make it work.
I mean
But
that's been a debate for a while now, like
yeah,
whether college players should get paid or not, and I
right.
get you could go either way because I mean you get the scholarships, but then also like some players don't get as much of a scholarship, but I think the NIL has really opened up stuff for you guys.
Yeah. So as far as like the Celsius deal, I just basically once the NIL thing popped up, I saw like a lot of opportunity in it, and I just reached out to as many companies as I could. I was emailing people, sending DMs, just as whatever I could get really. So I ended up joining with Lulu as an ambassador, like Lululemon, Celsius. I have a deal with them. Canada Dips. Trying to think what else. Recently started working with Fuel Hunt. It's like a great apparel brand. Just like other companies like that. That I don't mind standing for because they stand for like a positive message, and they rep like good gear and good products and stuff like that. So besides that, there's also like the Barstool athletes and the liquidity student athletes and stuff like that. So really cool initiatives. It's fun to just network and get involved, because the more you expose yourself to, the more people you put yourself out to, the better. I'm all for just being a people person and building a better community. At the end of the day, like that's all we got. Like yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So you mentioned you don't have any plans to play football after college. So what are some of your plans for post college life or post college football life?
Yeah. So I actually just signed a couple days ago, as a technology consultant for EY in at their headquarters in the Hudson Yards in Manhattan. So I'll be working there.
Congratulations.
Um, Thank you, appreciate that. Yeah, I was bouncing around like um, startup opportunities and like working with like a really cool airline and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, like EY was like I just love their mission. I love the opportunities to learn and grow with them. Um, Obviously, the compensation is pretty nice. Like, but I didn't really want to do it for the money. It's just like I love to learn. So with their technology consulting branch, they like we were discussing topics in the interview of education on like quantum computing and stuff like that, just crazy topics like on the front end of technology that I'm really interested in, really want to be a part of. But then further down the line, maybe starting my own thing or getting into venture capital or stuff like that would be really cool.
Yeah. All right. So now let's get into some talk about maybe this past weekend's games with you got the AFC and NFC Championship, some great football games, and we got the Super Bowl coming up in a couple weeks. Were you surprised by any of those outcomes with the Bengals with Bengals
Not
coming?
at all, man. I love to see both those games. Obviously, I'm a little bit I favor the Bengals game a little more just because like big fan of Burrow and like dude like just his poise and like his ability to get things done regardless of all the talk, all the heat and everything. What he did at LSU and then bringing that forward into the NFL, like sky's the limit for him.
Yeah.
It's interesting like the timing of it all, like him being such a like groundbreaking quarterback and like Tom Brady stepping away,
I
like
know.
who's going to fill
That's
those shoes?
devastating. That's devastating for a guy or a
I
guy.
know, dude.
But yeah, that's devastating for us. He didn't even mention us in his goodbye thing. That's a separate thing,
Yeah.
but no, with Burrow, I mean, I was just happy to see Mahomes lose.
Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy that like Mahomes' brother and his like wife or fiance, whatever the hell she is, like have created such a hate for him in that team.
Right. Yeah.
With they're not even on the field. And like honestly, if I was saying to my dad the other day, I'm like, I don't think I would hate Mahomes all that much if it wasn't for those two. I really wouldn't. And it's like crazy. I was like, oh my god, the Bengals, please win this game. I can't watch Jackson Mahomes dancing at a Super Bowl. I can't do
Yeah.
it.
I mean, it's definitely like just a topic of discussion with like you got to be mindful of the company you keep, it's like
Yeah.
so your close circle is a reflection of you. And people, whether you like that or not, are going to see that as it is. So it's, just be mindful of everything, like, your peers and everything. Because like you said, like, I feel like a lot of people would be more favorable of Mahomes if like, you know,
Because he
his
is a
brother.
likable player. He doesn't really do anything wrong. He's a great player. He like
Yeah.
stars in all those stupid commercials. I mean, like
Yeah.
I can't like I couldn't find a reason to just hate him. So it's brutal. But I mean, we then the other side, the Niners Rams game, another one possession game. I mean, this is some great playoff football we've gotten so far.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like
I
gifted with all this.
Yeah, I always love playoff football because it's like it's the same thing with college football and everything. Just everything's on the line and like everything. It's always such a close game and always, such great games. Like, I mean, it's fantastic. Even like the wild card round this year with the NFL was nuts. Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
You get
it
some
was,
good games this year. I mean, and then in the next in the divisional round, you get the Bengals knocking off the Titans first round, and then you get the Niners knocking off the Packers. I mean, you might have just sent Rodgers into or into some spiral where he's not going to figure out where he can go, and then Brady's career was ended that weekend too. I mean,
that
on a
Bucks
last
game was
second play.
nuts.
Yeah, on the
Yeah,
last second play that all they had to do was play defense for like a minute and not and they couldn't do it. I mean, Brady's legacy is completely changed from like one or
right.
two plays to Cooper Cup. I mean,
Yeah,
because if they get past that game, I mean, they probably, or I don't see them losing to that 49ers team, then
mhm,
getting to the Super Bowl playing that Bengals team. There's no way. I mean,
yeah,
that's another Super Bowl for Brady. I mean, they just have to get past that Rams team. I mean, all the credit to Cooper Cup. That kid is
right.
amazing, and the fact that he's not a 99 Madden yet is a sin.
Yeah,
Uh,
I
but
think his journey has been amazing as
yeah,
well. I also thought that the Bills game was kind of broke my heart. I'm a big
oh,
fan,
yeah.
especially with Josh Allen and all that. Like, I don't know, dude.
So we're
That
like
hurt.
sworn enemies. I mean, you're a Bills fan. And I
No,
can't.
I'm a Giants fan.
Oh,
I just like
oh, that's
yeah,
even worse. That's,
yeah, hell yeah,
that's even worse. You guys stole two Super Bowls from us.
yeah,
Uh,
man.
uh,
Those silver helmets never did you any good.
all right, all right. I get into that, but so we got a Super Bowl preview. Who's your prediction for Bengals or Rams?
Bengals, man, all the way.
Yeah, the Bengals. I mean,
Yeah, go
I, I'm
Brewer.
I'm definitely rooting for the Bengals, but I mean, I don't wouldn't hate if I think the Rams are gonna win personally, but I wouldn't hate if the Rams win. I think Stafford deserves it after the shit he had to deal
Yeah,
with in Detroit for
for
so
sure.
long.
I mean, you know, obviously with this Super Bowl, I feel like you kind of want to see both sides win, but obviously, only one can come out victorious. I think, the way Cincinnati's been playing, like, and their reputation, like, they're just going to stay the underdog until they're not, So it's like, um, I'm going to root for them.
They're a team that's gonna have to deal with Aaron Donald, and as an offensive lineman, it's tough. It's tough dealing with one of those stud defensive
Yeah,
guys, and I mean they've been like just turnstiles in that on that offensive line, and Burrow's been able to create opportunities out of it. But
yeah.
let's see how long that goes for.
Right. That their defensive line, just their whole defensive front was, I mean, it's just so dynamic. But like seeing what they do and continuously do throughout the season is insane. I also like remember one of my O-line coaches mentioned that Aaron Donald was just like a not $300, 300-pound bar of soap. And it just the way he moves, like how well he moves, like his his
At
knees
that size,
training
he
and
should
all
not
this. Like,
move that fast.
guy's a tank. I love it. I love to watch like people like that play,
Mhm.
just so like obsessed with being great. Like, Tom Brady was like that too, just you'd hear about his 40 glasses of water a day and crazy stuff
I'm
like
sure
that.
you didn't like watching him play, watching him play as from your standpoint. Where
Yeah.
most people outside of New England didn't like to watch
Yeah.
him play because usually they were on the losing side of things. Actually,
Yeah. But at the end of
you
the
won a
day,
couple on the other side, so I mean,
right.
you made out like gold.
Yeah. I mean, like, we'll look back at this and realize that, you know, we witnessed one of the greatest athletes like of all time play as we were growing up, which is really cool. Um, you know, that he's definitely going to go down as one of the greats, like no questions asked, if not already. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean my thing with the Super Bowl, like if Stafford wins, he deserves all the credit in the world. He put together two of the greatest receiving seasons of all time. So there must have been
Yeah,
a pretty damn good quarterback on the other side of that. So I mean, with Calvin
exactly.
Johnson, who was a generational talent that was wasted in Detroit, I mean, Stafford was wasted in Detroit, and then he's doing this with Cooper Kupp. I mean, he, especially with when you have all those options on the offense, and you're able to put together a season like that with one of your guys is insane. I mean, and they obviously they lost Robert Woods, but he was there for a lot of the season.
Right.
But I think Stafford deserves all the credit in the world. I would love to see him win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I still jumped on the Bengals bandwagon or before last game, so I kind of I'm feeling with the Bengals. I mean, Joe Shiesty. You can't
Yeah, Joe Shiesty, baby.
you can't go wrong with Joey B.
Oh yeah.
He's just he's a crazy bastard. But
I mean, but dude, that's what hard times do. You know what I mean? They breed champions. They breed warriors. You know, like I love his path, and like you saw with Tom Brady's path too. Like these aren't guys that like got the starting job right away and weren't like multi-star athletes. Like a lot of the people performing at a high level right now didn't start that way. It was a lot of hard work and a lot of
2 stars, 3 stars, 1 star.
exactly.
You're not getting a lot
Yeah.
of those 5-star recruits in the NFL anymore, but at least
Yeah.
in the quarterback position. I mean,
Right.
but yeah, no, you're getting a lot of talent from places you don't expect in it, which just kind of shows like the work that these guys have put in to get there.
Yeah.
I mean, Cooper Kupp was undrafted. I mean, with the Patriots, J.C. Jackson was undrafted, and now he's like one of the best cornerbacks in the league. But like it just goes to show you, I think we're gonna be in for a very entertaining Super Bowl.
Yeah, dude.
And I think the Bengals have a legitimate chance if they can provide some time for Burrow. But
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
offensive line has definitely been rough. And what did they let up 9 sacks against the Titans, and they still won?
Yeah.
Like, that's insane. So
Yeah, I mean,
at
the end of the day,
they got to lock up that line.
right. Yeah. At the end of the day, I think all that matters is, the win column, right? So it doesn't have to be pretty. You just got to find a way. Like the game of football, like we've seen so many instances this season, and time again throughout the years, like you have any time on the clock, there's still an opportunity to win. Crazier things have happened. So,
yeah. All right. Well, that's all I got. Thank you for joining me on the show.
Yeah, of course, man.
Appreciate you. Good luck with everything in the future, and
thank you.
Maybe we'll have you hop on for some more NFL talk at some point.
Awesome. I would love to hop back on. Appreciate it, man. Have a good one.
Have a good one.